Lesson 54 is a pretty fun one. We're going to talk about perspective drawing. And so this is actually more like artwork than geometry. But in a perspective drawing, non-vertical parallel lines appear to meet at a point called a vanishing point. I'm going to show you what all this is here. If there was a line, and say you're looking, you're on a road, and here's your road. All right. Well, if you look in the distance, what you're going to notice that the road does is the road starts to meet at a point. And this point right here where it all meets is the vanishing point. And so next time you're driving down a road, look off in the distance and notice, since the world is not flat like people say it is or think it is, you are going to see a vanishing point where it kind of looks like the road meets at a point. The horizon is the horizontal line. That's your horizon. And what we are going to do today is called one-point perspective. So this is a one-point perspective drawing. Okay, one-point perspective. And I'm going to look at example 1A. Example 1A wants us to draw a rectangular prism in one-point perspective drawing. And so what you do is you draw, I got my ruler here, you draw your horizontal line. Whoa, and that ruler did not help me at all. Okay. Draw your horizontal line. And from here I'm going to put my point. Now, really you don't have to actually do the point yet, but from here I'm going to draw my rectangle underneath the point. Alright, there's my beautiful rectangle. So that's step one. Step one is draw the square and the horizontal line above it. Step two is I draw dotted lines from each vertex to the vanishing point. Alright, I'll try to do it as best as I can without a ruler. Alright, so that's step two. Draw dotted lines from the vertices to the vanishing point. Step three is to use the dashed lines in step two to draw the sides of a smaller square. So from here, watch how I look at these lines that were at the top. What I'm going to do is make a mark here, and then I'm going to go to the lines on the bottom and basically connect these dots. So now I have a square in the back. And step four, I'm going to connect these lines and erase all the other lines that are not in the rectangular prism. So erase here, erase these, and there you can see our one-point perspective rectangular prism. And that's how you draw it. It's pretty interesting, pretty fun. But that is one-point perspective. Now, I want to show you two-point perspective. Two-point perspective is you start with your horizon, and now instead of drawing a line here, say I'm drawing a cube, I'm going to draw one line and have 2 points outside of it, kind of like so. So that's step one. Step two is draw my dashed lines. It'll be more accurate if you have a ruler. I draw my dashed lines, and then step 3 is to draw vertical segments between the lines. So I draw a vertical segment. Actually, I'm going to do it a little bit wider than that. Vertical segment here, vertical segment, and then make these solid. From that point, step 4 is going to be draw dashed lines from basically the opposite side. So now I've already gone dashed lines here. I'm going to take these and draw dotted lines. Well, that was kind of a miss. Draw dotted lines to these points. And then the last thing I do is kind of connect dots to make my square and erase. My square isn't super beautiful, but this would be a drawing in 2-point perspective. Okay, and I would erase a couple more things, but that would be an example of a drawing in 2-point perspective. You can follow the steps on example 1 and 2 to figure out how to draw them, but pretty fun, pretty easy overall.